Hi guys, so the other day when I did my cornbread recipe, I had mentioned that I can make like a little cake in my rice cooker. And so I thought to make it a little funner, what we'll do is maybe make a little cake and also make some cake pops. So basically, why use a rice cooker for something like this? Sometimes the cake does come out moister than if you were just to bake it. For me, it's just fun. I mean, like I said, I can put this thing in my RV and make some little cakes. I always have like a cupcake maker in my RV anyway. It makes 6 cupcakes at a time. My oven here at this new place takes legit 15 minutes to warm up. It's so annoying. Like, I was like, does this thing have like a turbo function? Like, I don't know. I can't wait to replace it because it just takes so long. I've never had an oven take that long to heat up, and it's really annoying. And then, you're just making maybe a layer cake or whatever. So just for fun. And then this is easy for the kids. Like, if you have kids, they're all you can do is mix it up, put it in there, and there's no danger of like burning themselves really. So just kind of fun. That's all. And it makes like an adorable little cake. So I am going to use my mini rice cooker. There's the one from Amazon. I have, like I said, other ones on the way. Actually, I think I'm going to have a couple delivered today from AliExpress. And those I'm kind of curious because I'm not sure if they're going to work with the power situation here, even though they have a plug that works in the US. It might not still work. I don't know. I'll have to see about that. But anyway, so there's that little guy that I got from Amazon D-Signa. I don't have a link for it because I'm not associated with it. I'm not trying to sell it. It's just, you can go to Amazon and you can find it. But Wolfgang Puck had put out a little guy like this. There's a lot of people that sell a little guy like this. So it comes with this tray. We're not going to use that. We have our power cord and then the little insert, which is of course what we're going to be baking in. Super cute. It makes a cute little cake. And I think it's really fun. So you can probably, with this recipe, you can make 3 or 4 cakes depending on how much batter you put in, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So we're just going to put this to the side for right now because we're not going to use this yet. Sorry guys, I got a little dry spot in my throat here. So I'm going to use just a regular cake mix. This happens to be Devil's Food. It's a bummer because I usually get German chocolate, so I can put this coconut pecan frosting on it, but it'll be fine. Chocolate and, coconut pecan tastes good anyway, but I usually go with German chocolate cake with this frosting. But anyway, German chocolate cake. Well, yeah, cake base. So we're going to be using this. And then that's just for a little cake. We'll cut one of these little cakes in half and make like a little layered cake, which is going to be adorable. And then for the cake pops, I'm still going to use the same batter because we're just going to mix it up. And I just need like a spoonful. You can use Nutella, you can use jam, you can use anything that's going to kind of help you stick this together to make a cake pop. You don't even have to put anything, but most of the time you want to use a little something to help you bind your cake pop dough as it is. So I'll probably just use a scoop of this and then, let my kids dip apples in that or eat it up some other way just to finish that off. Or maybe I'll make another cake. Like I said, this is going to make 3 or 4 little cakes. So of course we're going to shred some of the cakes to make the cake pop. So I'm thinking of shredding 2 cakes and then just making 1 layer one. I have some lollipop sticks. Since I moved here, I was actually able to find things. Because even last night, I'm like going to sleep. I'm like, where is that thing I used to have that holds cake pops? Because otherwise, if you don't have something like this to hold your little sticks while they're drying, you can put it in like some floral foam at the dollar store. They sell it, $1, and you can put that and stick your cake pops in it. So there's different ways to do this. You don't have to have this thing, but this came with one of my machines, the Baby Cakes cake pop holder. And I'll be using these Choco Maker candy wafers that I didn't realize I had. I just went through all my wafers and these are strawberry shortcake flavored. So I figured strawberry and chocolate, that might taste good together. So, well, I know it tastes good together, but I don't know how fake these taste. But either way, it has flavor in it. It's not just the coating, but you can use, any candy melts or Dip Quick or Quick Dip, whatever they call that stuff. And then I got some little sprinkles because Valentine's is coming up. And these are the little heart sprinkles that I had ready to go. So I think that's it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just mix this up the way it says here with 1 cup of water, 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, and 3 large eggs, and just beat it for 2 minutes because that's how you get it nice and fluffy and all that. Get some air into that cake, and then we'll start there, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my batter here, and let's see. I'm trying to see what it says here. It makes about 4 cups of batter or so. So what I'm going to do is put a little baking spray in here, but you don't have to do that. It's nonstick anyway, but you can just maybe rub some oil in there or whatever. But I have this Baker's Joy, which doesn't look as pretty as it used to. It kind of gets stuck on there sometimes. It's gross. But anyway, and so you're going to put about 1 cup of batter. I'm going to do about 1 1/2 cups just so I only have to make 3 cakes instead of 1 cup at a time and have to make, 4 cakes. So I'm putting 1 cup of my batter in here. And I have a 1/3 cup measurement, but I'm just gonna eyeball this, guys. So I'm just gonna take a little more. So it's about 1 1/3 cups, like I said, in each thing. You can put this in the fridge while you wait or just leave it sitting out. You know, it's not gonna, I mean, it starts reacting, right? Because you've already started the chemical reaction that the cake needs with the baking powder and everything that's in there. But it'll sit for a little while. So I'm gonna do, this is a tiny, tiny little guy. Just put this right in here. Let me clean off my finger here. I'm gonna put my lid on, close it up. And I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in, and I'm gonna let it go for 25 minutes. And like I said in my cornbread recipe, it might kick off into warm function after a little bit. Oopsie. And whenever I would come into my kitchen, like if it kicks off into warm and I can kick it back down onto cook, then I would do that. I'd press it down, and sometimes it'll pop right back up. So just leave it. Just don't mess with it. 25 minutes at least, and then we'll take a look. It should be pretty much done by then, but you know, sometimes it varies with your little machine. So I'm gonna leave it alone 25 minutes. If I come into the kitchen, I see that it's on warm, I'm gonna push it back down if I can, and if I can't, I'll just leave it on warm. It's fine. Warm basically is still cooking. It's still keeping it warm to a certain temperature while it's kind of locked in here. So it'll keep doing what it needs to do, but if I can kick it down, I will. Okay, so we'll be back in 25 minutes. Okay guys, so it's been 25 minutes, and like I said, whenever I come in and if I can push it down to cook, which I just did, it cooked. You know, it would set up cooking function for like 2 minutes and then it cooked back to warm, but that's okay. So we're gonna open this up, hopefully I don't burn my hand. And it still looks pretty soft, as you can see. You can see it jiggling. So I'm gonna cover this up, and I'm just gonna leave it alone for 10 more minutes. I know I did the cornbread, I left it alone 15 more minutes, and it looked really good. So I'll leave it alone for 10 more minutes. And see, it doesn't want to stay on cook, but usually after a few minutes, like 5 minutes of it being on warm, I can slide it back to cook. But either way, it's still heating up, it's still cooking it, so it just takes a little time. So let's leave it alone for 10 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay guys, so we are at about 10, 11 more minutes. That looks better, and it's very moist. I don't know what's going on top here. Oh, I guess it's just the last bit that had to cook. And you know, you can tell cake is done by squishing it like this, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the toothpick in there, and that's pretty clean. So we are good. It might have only taken 5 more minutes, but I did, you know, 10, right? I'm gonna unplug this just to let it rest for a little bit while I'm gonna let this cool for 5 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, let's say, before I turn it out, okay? Look how cute and domed it is. So let's let it chill just a little bit, or cool off, should I say. Sometimes what I like to do is take my toothpick, it should just come right out, and just kind of run it around the side anyway. It is a little bit bigger than a toothpick, it's like a skewer. Just to kind of get it away from there anyway. And let's just give it a couple minutes to kind of rest before we mess with it. And we'll pop it out, and then I'll do the same thing with the next batch, which is sitting here ready to go. Again, another 1/4 cups. This time I'll just let it go for 35 minutes, not touch it. And but I'll be back when I turn this guy out. Okay guys, I have to put this in an awkward place just because I can't hold it while I turn this out. But oh, how cute. Pop it right out. I'm going to turn it over real quick. It is really light and airy. I don't know if that's from the cooking process or if that's just how it is anyway. What I'm going to do is just wipe this out. I'm not even going to like complete wash it, just wipe it out, spray it with my Baker's Joy, put in the next batch, and as this one cools, we'll come back and frost it, okay? But again, I'm like 2 more batches. Okay guys, so it's been 35 minutes and it looks just like the other one. Ready to go. So what I'm going to do now, and this is kind of weird, you can wait until it's cold and just crumb the cake. You know how you just kind of rub one piece against another to make the cake pops, or however you want to do it. But what I'm going to do is not even wait for it to cool, okay? It's still hot, only because I learned this from another lady that does cake pops, and they came out real nice. Is I'm going to use this, I'm going to smash it up, cake it up while it's still hot. So I have a little food processor, another like little Ninja or whatever, that comes with I think 2 drink things, but it also comes with the base that's kind of making a food processor, but not really. So this is hot cake, okay? As you can see, like steam's coming off of you, so I just took it right out. And we're just gonna shove it in here. And you can probably get the whole thing in here because it's pretty small, but I can do just a little bit first. Just because I don't want to mess this up here. So as you can see, it's still steaming, it's still hot. I'm gonna put it on here. And I'm just going to pulse it a few times. You can see it's already falling apart. I don't know how much you can see of that. And I'm going to add in the rest of the cake. Ooh, my camera is acting funny. I hope it doesn't top all over. It might be crooked. Sorry, guys. Ugh. I have to press a button to unlock that. Put the rest of this in here. And I'm also going to include just not even a tablespoon, because usually you can put a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons in a whole batch of cake, and I'm not doing that this time, right? I'm just using a small portion. So I'm just gonna do like a couple teaspoons maybe. I mean, it's like a heaping teaspoon. Just let that in there. And again, you can do this with your hands, just crumble it up. Add a little bit of your frosting and keep crumbling it. So I'm gonna pulse it, and then I'm just gonna let it go. And what this one's kind of weird, I guess I'm gonna hold it down until it becomes like a clumpy, like Play-Doh, basically. And it's kind of loud, but as you can see, it's like thicker. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. So you can check it. Because like I said, this is a small amount, so it's not like, that's actually pretty good. Hope you can see this. It's like super, super soft. So all I'm going to do is dump this out, do the next batch, and just kind of roll it around just to make a little ball with it. And then you can put it in the fridge, or you can just leave it sitting out. The reason you do it right when it comes out steaming hot is it keeps all the moisture, so it's just a better dough for your cake pops. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with the next batch. Put it in there, roll it all up, and we'll come back and we will frost our cake, which is cooled completely already, and we'll start our cake pops. I just want to show you how fun this stuff is, you guys. It's like dough. Anyway, you do want to squeeze all the air out though, so you're trying to make it a little bit thicker, and that's why I'm going to do this. I'll do the second batch, and then I'll get it into the fridge, because it's very, very soft, light and airy. It's awesome. Okay. Okay, you know what, while we're waiting for the dough to chill, the other dough to chill for the cake pops, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. So I'm going to use this big serrated knife. It's a bread knife, just because this guy's really small. If you want to use, you know, your regular leveling tool, whatever, I'm just going to eyeball this and kind of go across and then get my hand out of the way. And I'm using it serrated, so back and forth, we're not just pushing it through like you would a cake leveler. And I'm going to put this onto a plate. And I'm going to take this top piece off and just kind of pop it over this way. That way I know it goes right back on the same way, okay? And we're just going to frost it just like you frost any other cake. So let me grab my pecan topping. Funny story, or my gross story. One time I bought one of these and I don't know what happened. It wasn't expired or anything at Walmart, and it was just like, oh, weird. Like, I've never seen that. We've been eating this cake since the 80s, like since I can remember. And so I had tweeted about it, I think, or something. And Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Sometimes that happens in shipping, that it separates, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, when has that ever happened? Like, it's never, it was nasty. Something was wrong with that whole batch, you know, or that batch, I would think. So then they sent me coupons to get like 4 new ones, which was very nice. And then of course I never used them because I forget to use coupons, which was so lame. Like, it was for like some free cake mix and then like 3 or 4 more frostings. Totally forgot. So I'm gonna put this right back on top. And to be honest, this is the only cake I'm gonna frost with this, so I can be very generous, but at the same time I don't want that much frosting on here. So a lot of times I add a little on top, and then I just bring a little bit around the edges before I really coat it. So just kind of push that up to the top. However it is that you frost the cake, you know, do that. I saw this one guy making a little cake from a rice cooker, and he put a bunch of jam on top and like half a can of jam. I'm like, that is so gross. Like, it's not doing anything. It was just sitting there all hard. And then I think he had a whipped cream. Very nice guy, but I was like, that seems kind of gross. At least this is a cake, you know, just a cake. And like I said, this will make 3 or 4. So if you wanted to make 4 cakes, then just do 1 cup of batter at a time to make your cute little cakes. And if you want to make 3 like I did 1.25 cups. And as you can see how high it is, obviously if you use 1 cup, it's going to be a little bit shorter. Still going to be cute, obviously the same like roundness and all that, but it'll just be a little bit flatter. Which is maybe what you want, I don't know. Super cute. Alright, so I'll just finish frosting this little bad boy. My kids are going to love this. We love this kind of cake. And then we'll get to making our cake pops. And of course I'll cut into it just so you can see the little layers, just like your little 2-layer cake. I think that's plenty frosting. I might come in and add some more on the side, but I doubt it. All right, I'll clean up my little crumbs and it'll be adorable. Okay guys, so I cleaned up my little cake. She's ready to go. Chilled my little dough. I just tried one out just to make sure it's good to go. So it looks like this. Really nice. And I like to go ahead and measure out by 2 tablespoons. You can do like a tablespoon and a half, whatever it is that you want. You want smaller ones, do a teaspoon, just 1 tablespoon or whatever, but they're gonna be really small. So with this stuff, you really wanna get the air out, even though it's all nice and smooth. The air in there can really make it crack or kind of mess up later. So just kind of give it a good squeeze and really get that air out. And then you start forming it. I am the worst at making this. I have different things. I have a review on a little cake pop maker from Heavenly Cake Pops. They were nice enough to send that to me, and it's not an inexpensive item, so that was really nice when I had my old channel. So this channel, it has way less views, but if you guys are interested in that, maybe I'll put the link in the description box so you can check it out. So I kind of just roll them, but then I also kind of shape them by hand, and I'm not going for super perfect because we're just going to gobble these up in just a minute anyway. So I'm just going to make as many as this will make, and we'll see what that is, maybe a couple of whatever. I'm gonna let them sit here. I'm gonna melt my chocolate. We're gonna put the stick in and then go ahead and put them in the fridge just for like 10 or 15 minutes before we dip them. So I'll be right back once all the cake pops are made. So it made 12. This one's a little bit tiny, but then I saw this one's really big, but I got 12 out of there. And I only melted a little bit of the chocolate melts because all we're gonna do right now is just dip our stick into one of these and then put it right in here. And then just let that sit up. And I'm going to put these in the fridge, like I said, for about 10-15 minutes. And then we'll actually melt some more and then dip there. Okay, so this is like the least important part in my opinion as far as how melted it is or whatever I'm doing with that. So I'll do that and I'll be back when we're ready. Okay guys, so I just melted this stuff and it's still a little bit thick. So what happens with this stuff is you can add a little bit of Crisco because you want it for dipping. I have these things called Paramount crystals, and you can order these from like Amazon and stuff like that. It's basically like hardened. That might be too much because you need very little, but it makes it nice and soft, like dippable. Okay, so it's not expensive, but it's just something I like to have because it really helps out. I don't know if you can see that already. It's pretty good, but again, you can use Crisco, but very little Crisco, because Crisco goes a long way, so you have to make sure when you're checking it. Like, I might need a little bit more. But I'm just going to go ahead and dip one just to get started. That might not be the best consistency yet. So the reason I say you chill these for 10 or 15 minutes, not too long, because what happens is if they get too cold, they're going to start cracking. So, like, this still feels a little bit thick, like this dip, which is unfortunate. I haven't really used Choco Maker brand. So I'll probably add a little bit more of that stuff just to soften it a little bit, because look how thick that is. And that's even with the Paramount crystals, which is kind of crazy, but that's okay. So quick review for Choco Maker. I don't know. It's not my favorite. But let's go ahead and just do that. And so I normally don't use my fork to help me out, but I have to. Look how thick that is. My goodness. That's a bummer. It's not very pretty. Okay, and then while it's still wet, on the very top here, I'll just add on some little hearts because they're super cute. And that's it. So I'm gonna let these dry up. I'll have some pictures for you guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you get some little ideas or try out something fun new with your rice cooker. I'm gonna try to see if I can get this softer because look at that. Ugh. And then I'll just place it here just to dry, of course. But there they are. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye now. Actually, before I go, guys, I'm gonna come back because I did have a couple that cracked, and these are the first two, so they were the coldest ones that got the, I don't know if you can see the little cracking there. Or like this one, you can see a little better. But I think I'm gonna taste this stuff for you because I have never tasted this Choco Maker strawberry one, so let's see. I don't know if you heard it crack there. The smell of strawberry was super fake when I was heating it up, so that's why I was kind of interested. It's not bad. You don't taste a lot of strawberry. If anything, I taste mostly chocolate. And then I get a little bit of strawberry. It's more like a vanilla kind of flavor. But really cute. Obviously, you know, cake baked up really nicely. Like I said, I'll cut this later. I'll probably have pictures for you guys because I don't want to cut it quite yet. We're not ready to eat it. But super cute. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.